Can you read?
Is that a rhetorical question?
So what happens if you crash the cab, it catches fire and I can't get out because the doors are locked?
You're burned to death.
How long will you be?
Depends on whether they let me out or not. It's a mental hospital.
Hello?
Shirley Temple without a condom.
Shirley Temple with a condom.
Without.
With.
There's a girl round the corner who'll do it.
Then she's an idiot.
Hello, Jimmy. Irish. Rather thoughtful of me, don't you think? Scunthorpe. How are you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Been away from your work for 4 months, Jimmy.
There's nothing wrong with me. Now, what do you want?
Just thought you might like a visit.
You left it a bit late.
Why did you rape her?
Who?
Jane Penhaligon.
I didn't.
Where are you going? Hey, Jane, come on. Do you know what you're doing? Come on, Jane.
Shirley Temple without a condom, 50 quid.
40.
You've never raped anyone?
No,
You're a liar.
I'm not.
How old are you?
46.
You got your end away for the first time, say, 30 years ago?
Thelma.
Thelma. And the ones after Thelma? The dark alley. Backseat of a car. I struggle a bit, but you're full of beer. Well, what's your left hand for?
We're talking about the
It's to
rape
hold
of
the
Jane
wrists
Penhaligon.
while your
On the
right hand
ground,
roams
on concrete,
free.
The man
You
wore
keep
a
on
mask.
doing it
No,
until
come
you're
on, what's so
absolutely
bloody
sure.
ever? You cannot make the comparison,
Absolutely
Jimmy.
bloody
There is
positive
no
you're not
bloody
gonna get any.
comparison.
And only then do you stop. We've all done it. Everyone my age and over. We could all be had up for rape. Right?
Wrong. So what?
So don't look at me like I'm a piece of muck.
We're not talking about date rape here, Jimmy. You wore a mask. You carried a knife.
It wasn't me.
Knocked her about a bit. She thought you were going to bloody kill her.
It wasn't me.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggity tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. I don't want a bunny or a kitten. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishes. You can't take a fish for a walk. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the dog in the window. I do hope that dog is for sale.
Little slut.
How much is that dog in the window?
You've always wondered what it was like. You filthy little slut. Well, now you're gonna find out. Little tart. You little slut. You're dying for it, aren't you? 12 years old and you're dying for it. You filthy little bitch.
I've seen your case notes. Nervous breakdown 16 weeks ago.
I'm over it.
Stressed, depressed, prone to anxiety attacks. Guilt does that to a man.
Guilt over Bilborough's death.
Guilt over the rape of Jane Penhaligon.
Guilt over the death of a much-loved colleague.
Is that what you've been telling them for 16 weeks, is it?
Why should I rape her? I've screwed her. I've got sick of screwing her. So why should I rape her?
Convince me.
A little tattoo on the inside of her thigh.
No, I know you raped her.
A rapist is going to see that, is he? Rip him off, stick it in, dark corner, and a rapist is going to see a little thing like that? You've kissed that little tattoo, haven't you, Fitz? You felt the hair tickle your cheek as you kissed it. For God's sake, you've been there. If a fat piss artist like you can screw her, anybody can.
I believe she said something similar.
Well, there you go then.
You've been dipping into your guardian again, haven't you?
Wilbur screwed her. Well, he's dead. Do you think I'd lie about something like that? You think I'd lie about that?
I think you're capable of anything.
I've got no money. I had 50 slotted down the side. My wife must have taken it.
I've got to have it.
Well, I'll give you it next time.
I need it tonight. The kids are at school in the morning. They need their dinner money. There's a man coming first thing for the rent.
Yeah, well, I'll pass it in the morning.
I'm sure you will. Have you got a cash card?
Yeah?
His bank's up the road.
All right, I'll be 5 minutes.
I'm coming with you. I'll be about 5 minutes, love, okay?
It hasn't cleared.
What?
Your wages are in, but the cheque hasn't cleared.
What are you going to do?
Never put your faith in technology.
Oh, thanks. It'll clear by Tuesday.
I need it tonight. You're going to have to borrow it.
Technology's got no heart, no soul.
Do you mind? Who off? Who can I borrow it
You
off?
can't tell
A friend.
machine you're desperate for money.
A neighbour.
Machine doesn't have kids.
Your
and so on,
wife.
doesn't have worries.
Are you serious?
She won't have spent the whole 50. She'll have
We're
something
all
left.
getting replaced.
I went round block. I won't embarrass you, but I need that money, Dave.
Machines. This machine.
I want it, Dave, or she'll start screaming rape. Right now. Because that's exactly what it is. It's rape.
Voice down.
We have an agreement. I did mine, but you won't do yours. It's bloody rape.
Don't touch my human.
Yeah.
Nobody's working.
I want that money,
Nobody's
Dave.
making money. Buy the machines that the machines are making. A solution is needed.
What do you want from me?
I want you to tell me that you raped her.
Did she send you?
Hardly spoken to her for 4 months.
I didn't rape her.
She needs you to acknowledge your guilt.
I've been listening to that language for months. I've had psychologists and psychiatrists and therapists and counsellors coming out with bullshit like that. I've got an A level in it. I'll tell you what you want.
I know what I
I'll
want.
tell you what you really want.
I know what I
You want to go back to her, the all-conquering bloody hero, and get your leg over. That's what you really want.
You find sex a fascinating subject, don't you, Jimmy?
Right. I'll be 5 minutes. Right, Dad. Where's your mum? Kitchen. Kids are still up.
We're going now. Joan, Teresa,
Oh, but Mum, it's in the best part of the programme.
Did you take money out of my wallet?
The milkman.
You could have missed him.
I missed him last week.
How much is there?
£28. The kids need their dinner money in the morning. Are you okay?
Well, give her my love. And a big kiss.
If you want to smoke, you smoke.
Really? Now why can we keep the light on?
Not if you're going to mess about.
Just 3.
Night, Mum.
10 minutes, then it's off. Night, lads.
Night.
Kiss your daddy night.
Night, Dad.
Night, sweetheart.
Night, Dad.
Oh, sleep tight down.
You too.
I'm going to... Did you get it?
I'll get it.
Where? Where are we going?
You beat bloody hard-faced bitch, thinking you could just walk into my house.
Stop the car!
Upset my wife, my kids, my whole bloody family. Who the hell do you think you are? You're nothing compared to them, you're scum.
I've got a
You're
weapon.
filth. If you get paid, you get paid. If you don't get paid, you don't get paid. You've got no rights.
I'll wait till Tuesday.
How dare you come into my house?
Wait till Tuesday!
Bloody piece of scum!
You keep away from me! Don't you touch me! Leave me alone!
You're right, James. Hello, Dave.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned.
Yeah, what's the matter?
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Come on, let's go inside.
I've been to see Jimmy Beck.
You weren't around when I needed you, Fitz. I've had to cope on my own. And I have. Thank you very much. I've told you, keep your nose out.
I can't. I have to ask you this.
Yes?
Did you and Jimmy Beck ever, you know...
For God's sake.
You're my brother, for God's sake. Help me!
If you want absolution, you're going to have to earn it. 2 conditions. 1, you have an obligation to that woman's children for the rest of your life. You look after them. That's time, money, effort. Can you promise me that? Now, you look at me, can you promise me that?
Yes.
2, you tell your wife everything.
She was a prostitute. I can't tell Maggie I've been with her.
Capable of killing another human being, but you can't tell your wife you've been with a prostitute. You tell her everything. I am so sick of sharing your dirty little secrets. You tell her everything.
Right.
You're reneging on that promise, David. I'm going straight to the police.
What are you doing here? What's up?
Hello, Eddie.
Is it Ma? Don't say anything. It's bad news, I know that. I just don't know how bad news. I'm clutching at straws here. Serious illness. Operation required.
She's dead.
I'm so sorry, Fitz.
How?
Stroke. Half 8 tonight.
I got her to the hospital. She died 10:20.
It's nearly 2 hours in hospital.
So that's nearly 2 hours in the hospital.
I heard.
How did you not phone me? Don't stand there like you know all the secrets of the universe. How did you not phone me?
You don't want to hear this, Eddie.
How did you not phone me?
I didn't want to leave her side. And you've seen her once in the last 3 months, so I thought you must be busy.
You always wear a sanctimonious wee shite.
Rub my back.
Grease delicious, isn't it?
I'm not with you.
Life's boring, banal. And then a parent dies. And at last, there's a genuine emotion. Profound emotion. And you savor it. It's delicious.
You're being a bit hard on yourself.
How long's it been going on?
Tonight was the first time ever. The third time.
With the same prostitute? What did you do with them? What did you do with them that you couldn't do with me?
You all right, sir?
Nobby Styles, love.
Sorry?
Piles.
Bruce Charnock, he found her.
Have you touched her, Mr. Charnock?
No?
The Glasgow man. Hard drinking, hard living. And the graveyards are full of them.
University educated, late 20s, still a DC, and a job where anyone with half a brain gets to be chief constable. I can understand your bitterness, son.
I've seen some terrible things in this job.
But she's not a pretty sight.
I'm talking about you, lad.
My mum died last night.
I'm sorry, Fitz.
Sir? It's a classic disorganized murder. He's used a weapon instead of his bare hands, probably that chisel. It was probably lying about. No, there's no rust on it. He might have brought it in his car. There's tar marks down there. But why a chisel? A jack? A torch, maybe, but a chisel? Is he a builder, maybe? A joiner? But no, he would keep his tools out of sight. In the boot, not conveniently to hand. Maybe the chisel was hers. In which case she's somebody who's learned to look after herself. Had to learn to look after herself. And the way she's dressed and what he's done to her. She's a prostitute.
Oh, hello, Danny.
Michael, this is Eddie, my brother.
Oh, pleased to meet you. Come in. I'm sorry about your mother, Eddie. She was a great woman.
Fitz.
Sorry?
Call me Fitz.
Fitz. Come in. Now, this is my brother, David.
I'll, excuse me.
Right.
Sure.
I'll be in touch. Right, what'll it be?
Scotch.
I'm into your coffee.
Do we have a name yet?
No.
Early 30s, smoker, given birth at least once. 5 or 6 blows to the skull. Brain hemorrhage, that's what killed her. Traces of semen. She had unprotected intercourse just before death. Tearing to the vagina, but no bruising, so the chisel was inserted after death.
Would you like to read something?
The Sermon on the Mount.
Fitz?
I'd like to talk about her. Plain English, no platitudes.
Yeah, fine. Communion?
Yeah.
No. I'm not going to take communion.
Ma would want you to.
Yeah, well, it means nothing to me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me like that.
Anything else?
A game of bingo. Halfway through the service.
You've got a name. It's Jill McElvanny.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Jimmy Beck's coming back in the morning.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Time hooker. Well known. Lives local.
Oh, it's Jimmy Beck!
Sir, it's good to be home.
Listen, lads, I've got to say this. As you know, Jimmy's had a bit of a bad time with his nerves and that, So I want you to take it easy on him. No sudden shocks or anything like Janie you're getting around him. Okay, come on, let's get back to it. Let's get serious.
It's not going to play cricket anyway.
It's because you're crap.
No, it's not. How many football team do you see playing cricket in summer?
What's that got to do with it?
Got a lot to do with it.
This
Yeah,
was a
the
brutal,
football
vicious
team,
murder,
they're all rounders,
and
good at
obviously we need
everything.
to catch this killer
Don't
or
play
killers
cricket.
as quickly
No,
as
that is.
possible. Jean McElvanny was an occasional prostitute, and we've reason to believe she was out on the street sometime before her death. We'd like to speak to anybody who saw Jean McElvanny on Sunday night. We can assure anyone who comes forward, anyone who phones us, that their information will be treated as strictly confidential. This was a frenzied attack by a brutal killer, and we're appealing to the public to help us solve this case.
I was with Jean McElvanny on Sunday night. I don't know his name. We call him Shirley Temple. Drives a gold Renault.
Why Shirley Temple?
He likes you to sing some little girly song. Suck your thumb a bit. Turns him on.
Is it always money up front, Denise?
Unless he's a regular, yeah.
What if I couldn't pay? You'd come across and I couldn't pay.
You wouldn't get through the door, sweetheart.
You wouldn't take a cheque?
No way. I'd go with you to the cash machine.
How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. Was that the song you heard?
Yes.
Three cash machines in the area, sir. This is everyone who used them Sunday night.
How many is there?
83.
You okay?
Can I make a suggestion, sir?
No. You can tell me what's wrong with you.
Can I make a suggestion, sir?
She's saying, how much is that doggy?
Okay, fine. Okay, off you pop. Okay, let's hear it.
The argument was over money. If he got money out of the machine, he'd have paid and not killed her. 9 names on that, put their cards in, but got no money out. We should talk to them first.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Sir? Can I take Beck with me?
You had a gun in your mouth and you pulled the trigger.
You stuck a gun in my mouth. Slight difference.
You pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
You felt guilty
Yeah.
about raping me.
About Bilborough's death.
You're lying, Jimmy. Tell me you raped me, Jimmy.
Where is it?
Where's what?
Are you wearing it?
Filthy hands off me!
Wait up!
Do not touch me! Don't touch me!
You're taping me!
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're pathetic, love.
Nations not so blessed as thee must in their turn to tyrants fall. Must in their turn to tyrants.
Yeah. Sunday night, you were standing by a cash machine in Bournemouth Street, is that right?
You want me like that? Do you want me like that?
Were you in Bournemouth Street on Sunday night?
My father used to work here. And thousands of others.
Were you in Bournemouth Street on Sunday night?
You don't care, do you?
Look, I'm a bit pushed for time.
Falklands War. And I came back home to this.
Well, I'm interested in events a bit closer to home. You know?
Yes! Look, I'm a policeman. Aye, well, I'm a war hero. I'm a bleeding war hero!
Yes, Vector Control, section urgently required!
Go station, Blackwell Street. Assistance urgently required.
Urgently required! Go station!
Police officer, this is going to get you in serious trouble. There's a police car on its way. Assistance urgently required. Urgently.
I'm a police officer!
Picture. Me and the lads. Assistance urgently required. Single one of us.
Why didn't you come and knock on the door?
Because I can't face your wife. Beck's in hospital, suspected broken arm.
Did you do it?
I'm going to see David Harvey. He used the cash machine. His car's been conveniently stolen.
Hey, Dad, there's your girlfriend, baby.
Hey, that maybe some me. That moaning, didn't you?
Yeah.
Beans? You like up the back of your stocking? Oh. Rita, the library's full of books on garden themes. A little patch isn't big enough for a theme.
Out with the door.
Upstairs, everyone.
We'll just have to wait to see what ideas
Upstairs
there
now.
are. Mom! Could be Oriental, could be Italian formal, could be even an ordered wilderness. So, you could put in a dog rose, a blackberry bush, and call it the outback. You know, some people even have gnomes, and it's still a...
So they got these chemicals about to explode, and they evacuate the factory and all the houses, and that was the end of part 2.
Let it burn, I say.
Sorry?
London.
Part 3, the chemicals explode.
We met.
I don't think so. Do you want me to go on?
No, I'm confused. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you're utterly innocent, but you're describing a program you watched between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And it's almost as though you know that she was murdered between 9 and 10. Which is strange because the police never released that information, did they?
It's just that we didn't watch anything before 9, that's all.
Right. And could you explain how your cash card got used while you were sitting watching telly? Could have given it to the boy to go out and get you a few bobber.
Yeah.
Trouble is, it wasn't used locally. It was used at the bank, half a mile away from the victim's flat.
You've reported your car stolen. A Renault?
Yes.
Gold?
Yes.
A gold Renault was seen in the area.
Look, I know you didn't do this. You have a wife, you have children. You wouldn't have unprotected sex with a prostitute.
Unprotected?
Yeah. You Catholic?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm totally convinced that you're innocent. We're not the most adventurous of people. Sexually, I mean, are we? Personally, I've done it twice with the lights on, but that's just me being risque. But this man we're looking for, he's in the Shirley Temple.
You bastard!
Stinking bastard! I have you rotting hell, you stinking murdering bastard! Get your hands off me! Let me get to you and cutting balls off you, lousy!
How much is that doggy in the window?
The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I don't want a kid, no bunny. I don't want a parrot that talks.
David was round at your place with me. Call round.
He's my brother.
Seemed nervous.
He always is.
Your husband visits prostitutes.
He doesn't?
He was picked out at an ID parade by one.
A prostitute?
Yeah.
With a string of convictions? She's going to make a wonderful witness, isn't she?
You've had time to think about this, haven't you? A lot longer than the, 5-6 hours since we arrested him. So he went with a prostitute and then came home to you.
So they say.
Did you have sex? You just murdered somebody. That can be a bit of a turn-on. Did you have sex? It had happened before, though, hadn't it? He'd come home, got into bed with you, made love to you, eyes tightly shut, pretending he was still with the prostitute he just left. Four kids.
Yes.
On the pill?
No.
No form of birth control at all? I had a patient once, young Catholic girl. Advised her to go on the pill. She said it was useless. Every time she stood up, it fell out.
I'm not sexually naive.
Oh?
No,
Then why does your husband visit prostitutes?
he doesn't. We have a good sex life, a good, healthy sex life. He doesn't need to visit prostitutes.
Healthy?
Yes.
Healthy. And what would be unhealthy, I wonder? Told the kids yet?
Yes.
Catholic school. Yeah, I'll be right around that school soon. Not that their dad's killed somebody. I know Catholic morality. No, their dad visits prostitutes. They'll have to change school, of course.
Why doesn't he go the whole hog? Why didn't he just rape her physically?
I want this perverted cuff.
Oh, this one in here. Oh. You said we hadn't met before. We have.
Have we?
Yes, round at your brother's place. He's doing my mother's funeral.
I don't remember.
We've just been talking to your wife.
Well, how is she?
Ecstatic. She's going to take the blame for all this, of course, you know that. If you'd been getting it at home, you wouldn't have had to go to a prostitute and she'd still be alive. That's what people are saying.
Well, they'd be wrong.
I knew you'd be Catholic. Dressing up like Shirley Temple. Innocence, virginity, Catholicism.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. We understand each other perfectly. Married sex. Shall I tell you about married sex? The kids come along. You do it quietly so you don't wake them up. The kids grow up, you do it quietly so they don't hear you. You learn to do it quietly. No big deal, no big fuss. And you go to the movies, turn on the telly, apocalyptic sex. It starts on the balcony, it happens all the way through the bedroom, they end up on the kitchen floor screaming, moaning. And there's you and the missus watching. Fixed grins, churning inside because it reminds you of your own pathetic, silent clinches, am I right?
Actually, my wife and
I have a very healthy sex life. That's exactly what she said, isn't it?
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Alex?
What did you do? Put your wife in a pedestal, that's all. I've seen the photo of the wall. Madonna and child. But you're a man. You have to find somewhere to dump all that lust, all that filth. And you can't dump it on a woman you worship. So you dump it in a slut. Right? I understand that. Everybody understands that. I mean, let's get this thing into perspective, right? We're talking about a prostitute here. A woman who sells it. A woman
Who does it for money?
Yeah. How do you think about a woman like that? Slag?
Yeah.
Slut?
Yes.
Bitch?
Yes.
Scheming, grasping, filthy whore?
Yes.
How you did it?
She was going to come into my house.
Your wife and kids?
Yes.
She's going to stand there in front of your wife and your kids?
Yes.
Is that why you killed her? She's a chisel I don't understand. I mean, hitting her with it. Yeah, I can understand that, but sticking it in her. Sticking it up her. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
I think I do. And it helps, doesn't it, having somebody else to understand. Hmm? You've killed her. She's lying there. Her legs are open. You see it there between her legs. It's not really her. It's not part of her. It's got nothing to do with her. It's just that thing between her legs, that thing that's brought you there, that's made you into a murderer. That thing. So you have to destroy it, don't you? Destroy it. Say you did it. You killed Jean McIlvanney. Didn't you, David?
No.
Joyce Watkins, prostitute, early 20s. Fractures to the skull. Traces of semen, so she had unprotected intercourse recently. The difference here is the chisel. It was inserted prior to death, hence bruising to the vagina. It's not for me to guess, but I'd say she'd been killed by the same man who killed Jean McIlvanney.
That's impossible.
Well, they're talking about inducing it, unless it happens pretty soon. And there's no sign of that. There's someone at the door. I'll call you back. Hello?
Hello.
Fitz?
Hello?
You're wanted. He's sitting on the lavatory picking out horses. You can't help but picture the scene, can you?
No.
Can we talk sometime?
Fitz has got my number.
Face to face.
I'm not ready for that just yet.
Yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty.
It's a DNA report. On the top, samples from semen found in the first victim. On the bottom, the second. They match. The same man killed both women.
How'd you murder a woman from behind bars?
Voodoo.
She dragged herself to the stairs, fell down the bloody lot.
The chisel?
Found it on the stairs.
2 cups. Any prints?
Just one set. The victims.
What do you want from me?
Can I have what's left of my husband now that you've finished with him?
Yes.
Have you finished with him? It's over?
Why don't you ask Fitz?
I'm asking you.
You think you hold all the cards, don't you? You're the loyal pregnant wife, I'm the marriage wrecker. Well, I know that's bullshit, Judith. You weren't around. You'd gone. We didn't know you were pregnant. We did absolutely nothing wrong.
Is it over?
Yes. I was only ever interested in his body.
You know, I never thought I'd hear myself saying this. But there's a certain poetic justice to it, isn't there? To your rape, I mean.
David Harvey killed the first woman. Of that, there can be no doubt. The man who killed the second has to be someone that David Harvey confided in.
Women used to fight over me once, you know.
Really?
Send the head in and everything. The loser got me.
Who would you confide in? Your priest? Your brother? What are the odds against 2 men having comparable DNA? Pretty low, right? Unless the 2 men happen to be brothers. A lot shorter.
His brother's a Catholic priest. Do you get on well with Father Michael?
Yes.
Do you mind?
Yes, I do, actually.
What about your husband? Does he get on okay with him?
They're brothers?
I know, love, yeah. So we Cain and Abel.
Trust each other?
Yes.
Wouldn't hide anything from each other?
No.
You must resent that.
Sometimes.
Does he visit prostitutes?
He's a priest.
He's human.
I know you. And people like you. 1 or 2 priests make a mistake and you seize on it. This is what they're all like. Well, they are not.
A mistake? You call murder a mistake?
Murder?
Yes.
You think Michael could kill someone?
Yes. Does he visit prostitutes?
No.
Do you think you owe Michael something? Because I don't. Your husband has gone to prostitutes for years.
He didn't.
He's had unprotected sex with them, spent all that money on them. You don't think he'd have told his priest? You said it yourself. They trust each other. They wouldn't hide anything from each other. Father Michael has known for years. He's just not bothered to tell you. Does he visit prostitutes?
Yes. No, if you'll excuse me, I have to go to church.
Me too. Even money the roof falls in.
Light a candle for Peter. Do it.
I've known her husband for 20 years. Wouldn't harm a fly.
His brother?
Father Michael.
You start with the big sins and move down, above the little ones and move up.
It's very common, Jimmy, for the rapist to blame the victim. I'm going to get promotion, Jimmy. DI. And when I do, I'm going to have you running round like a blue-ass fly. I'm going to make your life a misery.
Do you know what day it is?
Wednesday.
It's Bilborough's birthday. Now, if you sign that, I'll pretend you remembered. And it might cheer Katrina up a bit.
Clothes used to be in the dark. It's the grill. And the priest running his fingers through his hair. Dandruff spiraling in a shaft of light.
Well, things have changed. Vatican II. Head and shoulders.
Oh, yes.
What can I do for you?
I want to take communion at my mother's funeral.
Oh, your mother would have liked that.
A few grubby stains to get off my soul. And it won't be a 2-minute job with a damn sponge. Or 2 weeks of sandblasting.
I thought communion didn't matter to you.
It doesn't.
Well, then why bother with all this? Why not just take it?
You did too good a job of me when I was a kid. Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It is 30-odd years since my last confession.
May God help you confess your sins with true sorrow.
Sorrow?
Yes.
Ah, well, that's the problem, because the first one's adultery, and I'm not at all sorry. What do you get for that these days, a novena? It was well worth it.
Does your wife know?
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I hurt my wife.
Anything else?
I drink too much. I smoke too much. I gamble too much. I am too much.
Yeah, I know. Your mother was worried about you.
Yeah. What if a priest isn't worthy of being a priest? Am I still absolved?
Yes.
And tomorrow, that lump of bread will still turn into the body of Christ, yes?
Yes.
Even if, the priest's involved in murder?
Yes. Because God won't punish you for the sins of your priest.
You don't like prostitutes, do you?
Prostitution.
You despise them?
They sell sex. They sell something that is sacred.
You got a lot in common, then. Only prostitutes sell it quite cheap, £20, £30 a time. Whereas you've traded a car, job for life, roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your belly.
You got a romantic notion of prostitutes, haven't you, Eddie?
Fitz.
Yeah, they're just out there putting shoes on their kids' feet and food in their kids' belly. Huh?
Yes.
And how do their punters get the money? by seeing their own wives go short and their own kids go hungry. Prostitutes take money from other women, not men.
Is that what you told David? Did it make him feel better about killing Jean McIlvenny?
Why do you drink?
I'm easily bored.
Bullshit. So many drunks tell me that. You drink because you despise yourself, or you despise others around you, or you've got a sexual problem or a psychological problem.
I think you're a murderer.
I see. You're trying to convince me that it's psychological.
I'm serious.
I couldn't even murder a pint. I certainly couldn't do what that man did.
What did he do?
He murdered someone.
You implied something else.
I didn't.
You did. I couldn't do what that man did. It implies he defiled the body in some way.
Did he?
Yes. How did you know?
I didn't. The police said it was a brutal murder. It's that implies things.
All murder is brutal.
Do you think you were a good son?
Huh. He did this. And this. And he did this.
You think I'm capable of doing that?
Yes.
And yet you let me bury your mother.
She's dead. You're going to put her in a hole in the ground tomorrow, that's all. Do you want to know how I know it was you? Shall I tell you what your first big mistake was?
You despise the church.
You had a cup of tea, milk and 2 sugars. I know you take 2 sugars. I've seen you do it. Joyce wouldn't let a punter stay for a cup of tea. She gets them out as soon as possible. You went for a chat. She knew you'd gone for a chat. How did she know that? Because you were wearing a dog collar. Big mistake. Do you want to know what your second big mistake was?
People who despise the church, they don't worry me. People who are bored with it, well. But people who despise it, well, it must really matter to them.
Weren't any fingerprints. Didn't leave any prints on the cup, or the saucer, or the spoon. You wore gloves.
You'll come back to us. When your body can't take the booze anymore, or there's a cough you can't get rid of, or a lump that won't go away.
There was a prostitute murder just down the road. She's sitting there with a man wearing gloves. Joyce must have felt very safe. She did. He was wearing a dog collar.
Joyce?
Yes.
Not Jean, another woman?
Yes.
Recently?
Oh, you're good.
Whilst my brother was behind bars?
Yes.
God the Father of mercies through the death and resurrection of his Son.
It's not a dog collar, it's a tourniquet, really.
What?
A tourniquet. Keep wearing it. When you take it off, the blood starts pumping.
He reconciled the world to himself and sent the Holy Spirit among us for the forgiveness of sins through the ministry of church. May God give you pardon and peace, and I absolve you from your sins in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Thank you.
They're lovely.
How's it been? Today, I mean.
I'm getting through it. People have been round.
It's his brother. Jimmy, it's not David. It's John. It's his brother.
Are you okay?
You're living with someone?
John.
His brother?
He moved in 4 weeks ago. He'll never take David's place, Jimmy.
Hello, Maggie.
All his pay slips. He's lied to me for years. He's earned 50, 60, 70 pounds a week more than he told me. Spend it all on prostitutes. Filthy, pox-ridden prostitutes. Not using anything. And coming home to me stinking of them.
Did you kill Joyce Watkins?
Not a speck of dust. I keep this house shining. And he comes in and treads all their filth through my house.
You're not even surprised by the question, are you, Maggie? Did you kill Joyce Watkins?
Why would I kill her?
That's what I've been trying to work out myself. The only thing I can think is to get David out of jail. Killing in the same way, so they'd have to let him go.
There's hate. Maybe I hated her. And there's guilt. If I hadn't taken the money out of his wallet, she'd still be alive, and I wouldn't have got to know anything about it. But no, I've learned to live with guilt. You've learned to live with guilt. If you can live with the death of a child, you can live with anything. Thousands of pounds. I'd stand for an hour in the supermarket, waiting for them to knock down the price of food past its sell-by date. And they'd look at me and they'd know what I was waiting for. And he's spending thousands on prostitutes. And you knew.
I didn't.
Get out of my house. Can you explain how it happened, please?
I don't have to explain.
A second identical murder.
This is ongoing.
Can you give me any
It's an ongoing
explanation?
investigation.
Everything's been kept
It's an
secret.
ongoing investigation.
Please don't
It's a
tell
very
anything,
serious
anything.
matter.
You
We're talking murder.
You know what you're doing by keeping...
Will you answer the question? How did you find out about it?
You're putting all women in danger because the...
Will you answer the question, Mrs. Harvey? How did you find out about it?
Being falsely
Make it a cup of tea,
accused. I
Jane.
don't want a bloody cup of tea. I just want to see my husband, please.
That's impossible. At the moment.
How did you find out?
He told Michael. Michael told me. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I am going to get one. And I am bloody sure that you will have some explaining to do. A second identical murder, for God's sake?
What do you want, Jimmy?
Can I sleep here? I mean, spend the night.
It's my busy time, sweetheart.
I'll pay you. I just don't want to be alone.
Look, there's a maniac on the loose. Don't take this personally. Hello?
Hola, it's Denise here. I'm letting Jimmy back in.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Right. Now, where were we?
This is evidence. This is a dying man's statement. He knew he was dying, and he still did the job. And that makes my mistake worse, you know? I mean, if it had led to the death of a man who was no better or worse than me, that'd be bad enough, but to know that he was 10 times the man I'll ever be.
At least she didn't die of anything serious.
By on bonny banks and by on bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where I and my true love were ever once together, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I
My sister-in-law's taking his car. What do I do? Over.
Roger, stay where you are. We're telling the priest. Over.
Blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they shall be satisfied.
Body of Christ. Body of Christ.
Amen.
Body of Christ.
Amen.
Are you following me, love?
Yes.
Why?
I need a bit of advice. I've got 4 kids and no husband, and I need to make a bit of money.
Are you thinking of going on the game?
Yes.
Drive a car like this?
It's my brother-in-law's. He's a priest.
Some of my best customers are priests.
Can you spare me 5 minutes?
It won't take 5 minutes. You're too old, sweetheart. Too old to learn.
I like to start with my dad, really. Every other week, my dad worked nights, 12 hours a night, 7 nights a week. And as a kid, I quite looked forward to that because it meant that he came home before we got up. And the fire was lit and the lights were on and the cockroaches had disappeared. And, yep. And I used to watch him going to work and coming home from work and always turned up the money every week, and I used to think, why does he do it? Why doesn't he leave us and go and spend all his hard-earned money on himself? But I never thought that about Mum. She was always part of us. It was always me and Daddy and Mum. A love so solid that you could take it for granted. Example, one night there was a boxing match on television. It was
Brian London, Floyd Patterson.
Brian London and Floyd Patterson, that's right. And we snuck downstairs to watch. And we were in the lobby, and you could see through the crack in the door. And they were watching in comfort. It was freezing outside in the lobby, and they were watching in the heat, and the fire was blazing. And I just knew that if I pushed the door open, she would understand how much we wanted to watch. And I did. I pushed the door, and she looked, and Dad started shouting at us, and Daddy was giving me daggers. And she said, "Aye, okay, but off to bed with you as soon as it's finished." And I just knew she was going to say that. I just knew that. Well, she wasn't one for rational analysis. She preferred a row, right? And I remember a particular one. She woke up one morning after a night out and discovered that she'd lost her false teeth. And I remember she accused my dad of hiding them out of spite. And they never spoke to each other for 2 whole days. And sometime later, she found them in her pillow slip. Times like these, you dearly wish that there was a heaven. You dearly wish that you believed that there was a heaven, and I don't. But if it turns out there is one, she'll be up there with her glasses on and her tongue sticking out, with the racing page open in front of her, picking out the winners.
Fifi is the French maid. Noreen, the nubile nun. Nikki, the naughty night nurse. Prim Miss Parsons, who smacks the bums of all the naughty boys. Susie, the sexy schoolie.
Did he like that?
Shirley Temple?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd sing How Much Is That Doggy in the Window. He'd give me a load of grief, and then he'd start. Got the wig here. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
Paula?
Paula, you okay? You okay? I'm fine.
On its own, number 9. All the fours, 44.
Sweating a bit there, kid.
2 and 3, 23. 2 little ducks, 22. Thank you, Quackers. 7 and 6, 76. Major's Den, number 10.
He's out. He's not wearing his collar. He's heading down Bateman Street towards Chatterton Drive.
They're going to hold a party on the Golden Jubilee. And Kate says she to Pat McGee, come listen here to me. Put on your owl meeches and your coat of emerald green. Take off that hat, me darling Pat, put on your owl collie. For today's our golden day. And the walk
You hated her.
I didn't.
You said you sneered at her.
I didn't. Katie, get your jacket.
You used to laugh at the way she got everything in the drip out of the catalogues. You used to find it faintly amusing.
What are you going to do about the house?
You treated her like one of your clients.
Fitz, you never went to see her for 5 months. You know why? I wasn't there to remind you, to make you go. You can't blame me for anything. I know it's hard. Grief's hard at the best of times, but when you're feeling guilty as sin, that must be unbearable. Bye, Danny.
Do you want this number, just in case?
No, I don't think it's ever going to come. You know why this baby won't come out? It's taken a peek. Seen your bloody father and said, no, thank you very much.
You're doing 60.
I said, I don't want to grow up like that.
You're doing 60.
I know I'm doing 60. I feel like doing 60.
I hope you've got a good excuse.
The best. I'm in labour.
Right. Listen, don't worry. Follow me, love. All right.
I think he wants to go in. Well, she's not letting him. He's going back to the car.
Crossing the broad Atlantic, where once more he wished to roam. And as he was leaving,
You're a snob.
was
Oh, I knew we'd get to it eventually.
You're a bloody snob. Do you recognise any of these people?
Stick to your roots.
You grew up with these people, you don't recognise any of them.
Oh, there.
You've hardly spoken to any of them.
You stayed, right? That's the point you're making. You stayed. Outright pillar of the community. Huh? You know why you stayed? Do you want me to tell you why you stayed? Because you didn't have the bloody money to go, you stupid hypocrite!
Pa's birthday. You said you'd phone. She sat in all morning waiting for you to phone. It broke her heart. She went out. When she came back, I said you'd phone. I used to tell her you'd come round when she was out and that you were really sorry that you hadn't seen her. I used to have to make things up. Because she'd ask me how you were going on and what you were doing these days. I was doing it all the time. Time in the lobby. I knew why you pushed that door. You don't have a monopoly on feelings. I know why you pushed it. I was enjoying it. Watching Man Pat, knowing they didn't know we were there. That's why I gave you daggers. It wasn't a fight. I wasn't even watching a bloody fight. I was watching Matt and Pa.
You want another drink?
Do I look like I need another drink?
Let's put in the bookie's window again.
Hey, it's reinforced glass.
He's going into 32 Parnaby Street.
Denise Fletcher.
Yeah?
I'll phone the police! Why did you get on my horse for two? Dear me, I'm a lawyer! Hey! What is missing? Glasses off,
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why are you giving your money away?
They could do with it.
We could all do with it.
Denise,
Jeez, I'm bleeding. No!
It's coming from upstairs, it's Paul!
Jesus Christ.
I get hit by a mobile phone. A bit more mobile than I thought it was.
What are you doing? Oh, God, yes, of course.
You're all right, I'm a seed pod. I'm a bloody seed pod. Tell me I'm a seed pod.
You are, you're a sea pod, Judith, and I love you. You are.
Come on, come on. It's like selling peas. Mother Earth. I am Mother Earth.
Right.
Oh!
That's it.
Still think God's a woman?
Come on,
What gas in there?
Oh, just breathe on me, that'll do.
You're all right.
You pissed when Mark was born. You pissed when Katie was born. And you're pissed.
Come on,
Well, at least I'm
come round.
consistent.
There we are. That's it. Come on. See the baby's head.
What? You can see the baby's head in this way. Come on, come on,
Breathe
come on.
now. Breathe.
Come on. Come on.
Breathe. There we are.
You can see it, you can see it.
Are you crying?
I'm not.
Cheap sentimentality.
Isn't
That's it. That's all right.
This baby means something.
Everything.
Everything. Promise you'll never gamble again. If you can't promise me that, it's cheap sentimentality.
Come on now,
The thing you most despise in all the world.
Push now, Judith. Come on.
Gambling hurts me. Hurts my children. If this baby means so bloody much, then promise me you'll never gamble again.
I promise I'll never gamble again. Now, come on.
Oh!
Massive damage to the skull. Heavy metal instrument. Chisel inserted into the vagina. Same MO as the others. Same man, I'd reckon.
Time with that?
She's been dead for a few hours.
Well, that puts the priest in a clear.
Oh,
Give him to me, please. Give him to me. Give him to me. Give him to me. Congratulations. He's lovely. Well done. Well done.
Two cups of tea. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Did you know this girl?
No. I may have nicked her once or twice.
Have you been here recently?
No.
Well, what's your name doing on the pad?
I don't know.
You were going to rip that off?
I wasn't. Look. Can I get some air?
Yeah. I'll see you down there, Nick.
One of y'all. Come on, get in there.
Yeah, come on.
Smile.
Smiley. I think he wants to.
He's beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you want me?
Yes.
What? Won't be long.
Hi. He's lovely.
He's got first size Willie too.
Well, never mind. He's got your eyes.
£7, 12 ounces. That's the whole baby, of course, not just the willy.
You better come up with something, Jimmy, and you know what I mean.
Can't come up with anything.
What, a woman's murdered and your name's found on her bloody pad?
Can't come up with anything. I mean, there's no explanation for it.
Come in!
Oh, God almighty.
No fit, says he.
Look, the girls are looking after each other, you know? If someone gets someone in, they phone a mate, you know, and give the mate the geezer's name.
So?
I went to see Denise Fletcher.
Jane.
What for? I had to ask her some questions. She phoned her mate. It must have been this Paula one. I mean, you can check the list of phone calls that she made.
Well, how long were you there?
A few hours.
A few hours? Why, did she have a bloody stutter or something?
Well, I had a lot of questions, you know.
And what was the first one? How are you fixed?
It was strictly professional.
Hello, Denise. I'm really sorry about Paula.
If we were a bunch of nice middle-class women, you'd have caught him by now.
Was Jimmy Beck with you last night?
You see this as a bit of street cleansing, don't you? Knocking us all off one by one, doing you all a favour.
Was Jimmy Beck with you last night?
No.
He told us he was. I just want to confirm it, that's all.
Yeah.
How long for?
All night.
Did you phone Paula, give her Jimmy Beck's name?
Yeah.
Thanks. Denise?
What?
Did he hurt you?
Jimmy Beck?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He needed company. He's a sad bastard.
£500? Yeah. It was £500 in the poor box.
It was my own money.
So you were going to give £500 of your own money to two little kids?
Their mother had been murdered. They had no one.
Saint Michael?
Hardly.
No. Because you put a bit of business their way, don't you?
Sorry, I'm not following this one.
You go with prostitutes.
For God's sake!
Maggie told us.
And you believed her?
Why should she lie?
She didn't even know her own husband was going with prostitutes. She could hardly know what I do in my own spare time.
So you're confirming that her husband did go with prostitutes?
I didn't say that.
And it's never been established till now. We're very grateful.
I am a celibate priest. There are one or two of us still around. I do not go with prostitutes.
You're free to go now, Father. Thank you.
You followed me.
I had to.
You believed that I was capable of murder.
You're free to go now. Thank you.
Are you totally bloody stupid?
Keep tabs on Holy Joe.
Someone else has been killed.
Well, I've got the perfect alibi then, haven't I?
I feel sorry for her.
Yes. But I'm sorry for me as well.
You didn't kill this poor woman that's just been found. You didn't kill Joyce Watkins, but you did kill Jean McIlvanney.
I didn't.
Why Shirley Temple?
Don't you lie to me! I know you did it! Now, don't you put it down. Don't you put the phone down!
So what age were you when you met?
18. She was 16.
Virgin?
Me? No.
Maggie?
Dunno.
You didn't ask?
No.
Don't believe you. Did she say she was?
Yes.
Did you believe her?
Yes.
You didn't believe her? Low self-esteem, you see. If she'd let you screw her, she can't be choosy. There's been lots of other men before you. Did you despise her afterwards? Slut. To let you do that to her. You can tell me I'm a good Catholic boy.
Yes.
Is that why Shirley Temple turns you on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
To be the first, to be the very first.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Best of all, to be first and last, the very first. Screw a virgin. Slaughter her, the first and last.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You killed those two women.
I didn't.
You're lying. I'm going to the police.
You knew David was saying prostitutes.
I didn't.
You knew for years and you didn't tell me.
I didn't know.
You killed my child. You killed my Peter.
For God's sake, Maggie.
You killed my child, as good as killed him.
I gave you the only advice I could.
You killed him.
I want you to come with me to the police station. I want you to tell them everything.
Oh, I'll tell them everything.
That's good.
You're an accomplice.
What?
You told David what to do, to think of an alibi. And when the police came around, you told him to burn the car and report it stolen. If I talk to the police, you're finished.
My goodness.
Okay, here we go. Rule number 1. If these two do make any money, I'm on half. Okay. Rule number 2. You do not take any chances. You do not put yourselves at risk. And you do not go off with anybody, and it doesn't matter who they are. Okay? You're there to observe and report back. That's all. Observe and report back. If any of the punters happen to mention Shirley Temple, Schoolies, or anything like that, you blow in right away. Got it? Anything at all. Alan will be standing by, right? Right?
Right.
Alan will be standing by, I'll be standing by, and we'll only be seconds away. So any problems at all, you blow in and you're covered. Okay? I think that's it. Oh, just one more thing. Girls, don't go home dressed like that, okay? Any questions?
One, sir. Why didn't you give her one, Jimmy?
What?
Denise Fletcher. Why didn't you give her one?
I wanted to ask her a few questions.
You slept with her.
That's enough, Jane, okay.
You wanted a bit of company.
I didn't want company.
She thinks you're a sad bastard.
All right. I admit it. I gave her one. I didn't want company. I asked her a few questions, and I gave her one.
I gave her several.
Hey. Scunthorpe. How are you?
Well, I've a bit of a pain in my arse, but that might have something to do with you.
That passed for wit in Belfast. No, I only ask because you don't look too good, Jimmy.
Have you looked in the mirror lately?
A little blue in the lips, that's all. It's okay. Unless you get a tingling down your left arm. You haven't got that, have you? Sorry if I said the wrong thing. You don't have a tingling in your left arm, do you, Jimmy? Just if you do have a tingling, you know, could mean an impending heart attack, a stroke.
Let's fly away.
Could be it, Jimmy. Could be it.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
I'm giving you a wee bit of a fright. Sorry, blood pressure up, heart rate's up. Just a little, you can feel it. Huh?
Come fly with me.
Oxygen required, Jimmy. Oxygen required. You haven't taken in enough, though, have you? Body's still crying out more oxygen. Something wrong. Something wrong. Little messages all over your body. Something's wrong. Adrenaline required. Adrenaline required. What are you going to do with that adrenaline, Jimmy, huh? Fight or flight? There's nobody to fight. There's nowhere to run to. What's the adrenaline doing to your body now? Arteries narrowing. Blood pressure sky high. Heart rate up, up.
More oxygen, Jimmy. More oxygen. But you cannot have any because your lungs have ceased to function. It's called hyperventilation, Jimmy. Every single nerve in your body is screaming the same message. Something wrong. Life or death. More adrenaline. More adrenaline. You know what the adrenaline's doing to you, Jimmy? Your arteries are getting smaller and smaller and your heart's pumping and pumping. Your blood pressure is going up and up and up. Your head's swimming. You are going to die, Jimmy. You are going to die. Get it off your chest. Guilt suffocates. Get it off your chest. You have to. Tell me. Tell me. I'll tell no one else. I promise I will help you. I'll help you. Breathe. Blow in. Deep. Slow. Stick your stomach. Slow. Just good friends.
You do French?
I got an O level at school.
I can pay you 40.
Just French?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
No.
I'm waiting for someone.
Who?
A well-known popular novelist.
Well, how much then? You name it.
I've told you I'm waiting for someone.
60. That's as far as I'm going.
I'm already booked.
It won't take long.
I'm a police officer, not pissed.
Happy as he can. Oh, he's right home now, look.
Bilborough died because I showed a villain a bit of compassion. That's all I wanted in return. A bit of compassion. A bit of understanding from her. But I got none. She despised me for it.
She loved him.
I did too. She can turn compassion on and off like a tap. They all can.
Women.
I was 14 when I came over here. I took a lot of stick, you know. Paddy, Mick, get back to the bog. I knew what I had to do, turn a bit of respect. Throw a few punches, take a few punches. But I didn't. I hung around with the girls. Because they showed a bit of compassion, you see, and I fell for it. And a month passed, and I wasn't a fresh face anymore, and they dumped me. And I had to take the punches. And it was worse now because they were harder, because I've been hanging around with the girls. Women need rape.
I'm listening.
It's their weapon. A woman goes up to the heavyweight champion of the world, a hotel bedroom, early hours of the morning. He gives her one. He gets done for rape, ends up in the nick. The heavyweight champion. One of the bravest men. If it can happen to him, it can happen to any of us. And that's what they want. It's their weapon. keep us on our toes. Van Halligan needs rape.
Needs raping.
Needs rape. It's her department, her little empire. She thinks she can treat me like muck when it's rape because, well, she's a woman and we don't understand. Well, that's bollocks. She knew nothing about rape.
So you thought you'd teach her something about it, did you?
This is in confidence.
Yeah.
Strict confidence.
Yeah, doctor-patient.
I don't believe you.
Strict confidence, Jimmy.
Swear.
Bloody, bloody, bloody.
Swear on the life of your wife and children.
I swear on the life of my wife and children that I will not repeat anything you tell me.
Swear on the life of your newborn baby.
You're sick.
I'm sick.
I swear on the life of my newborn baby that I will not repeat anything you tell me.
I never intended to rape her. As God is my judge, I never intended it. I just wanted to frighten her. I was going to pull the mask off at the last minute, laugh in her face. But something happened and she looked so...
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable and weak, frightened. And I felt so powerful. You want to know the truth? I'll tell you the truth. I never had such an erection in my life. And I realized that I could do it. That I could rape her and get away with it. Just walk away from it. And that's why I did it. Because I could. I raped her because I could. You'd have done the same thing. Every man I know would have done it.
Did you speak to him?
Yeah.
And?
Nothing.
I had a gun in his mouth. I couldn't pull the trigger. But that was okay because he didn't know that. I was still the one in control. Then he pulled it himself, looked me in the eye, laughed in my face, and I knew what he was thinking. I didn't have the guts. Well, I did have the guts. I just didn't have the callousness. The callousness required to blow somebody's head off, to rape somebody, his kind of callousness. Okay? I stuck a gun in his mouth, but I never did get even.
£15,000.
What for?
The house is worth 30,000. Half of it's yours.
Don't want it.
Take it.
I don't want it.
Piss it up the wall if you like, but take it.
I'll have it in Reddy's.
Jackie was at the funeral.
Yeah, I saw her.
She left me because living with me was like living with a Pope. She said.
Fair comment, I'd say.
I'll bang him in the sink.
A woman.
Excuse me.
Hello, Maggie. Can I help you?
I'm looking for Webster Road.
Oh, right. You turn right at the lights and you'll come right to it.
Thanks.
I was right about somebody seen as no threat. I was wrong about the dog collar. It's another woman. It's Maggie Harvey.
Maggie Harvey? How many bloody drinks have you had?
I've just seen Maggie Harvey. She asked me the way to Webster Road.
It's got to be somebody you'd make a cup of tea for.
She knows where Webster Road is. Her kids go to school there.
Another woman, that means Maggie Harvey. Who else could it be? It's Maggie bloody Harvey, for God's sake.
Get in, quick! Move yourself, move it!
Can I come in?
You followed me yesterday.
I need your advice.
I'm not a careers officer. I'll find somebody else.
Look, I've 4 kids and no husband, and I need to make some money. I'm desperate.
Have you been on the game before?
No.
Come in. Do you know what you get when you go on the game? Murdered. You see that? That's blood, sweetheart. Now go home. Forget it.
All mobile units, be on the lookout for a maroon Vauxhall Cavalier registration number C946DBU. That's Charlie 946 Delta Bravo uniform. Driver Mrs. Maggie Harvey. Over.
We've been phoning each other up since Jean got murdered.
Is there nothing else you can do?
Oh, you can pick and choose your punters, but most of them are weirdos anyway.
Have you ever come across him?
Shirley Temple? Yeah. Perv. I'm busy, Jimmy. What do you want?
What did you tell her?
Who?
Pen Halligan. You told her I was a sad bastard, didn't you?
She's lying.
You're lying.
How much did you charge him?
Who?
Shirley Temple.
40. I'd asked for 50. He'd knocked me down to 40.
How many times did you see him?
Every couple of months. About 20 times altogether, I suppose. I'm not sure.
What did you do?
Straight sex. I'd have to go all coy. Then he'd start screaming, slut, slag, all that sort of stuff. Then he'd strip me. Straight sex, me on top. Why are you interested in him, anyway?
Have you got names for them all?
Just the pervs.
Do you think that's right? To take all that money off a man and call him a perv behind his back?
Who are you, love? Mother Teresa?
I mean, you let him do those things to you. Doesn't that make you worse?
Well, enough of this small talk.
You even advertise it. You advertise filth for sale, and then you have the cheek to criticize the man who buys it.
All right, get out.
I'm his wife. You called him a pervert. What does that make me? What do you imagine that he does to me? What do you imagine? You dirty, filthy bitch. What do you imagine? £800.
I strongly advise you to go.
£800, 20 times, £40 a time. That is £800 you took off him.
Yeah, that's right. I'd have to check with my accountant.
Has he got kids?
I never asked. I knew he was married, though. They usually are. Bored to death with their boring, bleeding wives.
Four. He has got 4 kids. You have been taking food out of the mouths of my children.
Him, love, not me. I earned every penny.
Charlie, 946, Delta Bravo uniform. Driver, Mrs. Maggie Harvey. Over.
He has come home to me after being with you, a filthy, stinking slut like you. He's got into my bed, sheets that I've just washed.
Get your ass!
Touched me. He's held me. He's held me after being with that filthy, stinking Get off me! That's all I'm doing. Get off me! Take it right out of my teeth!
Yes. Nice one, Jimmy.
Did you talk to her?
Who?
Jane Penhaligon.
Go to see her.
Stick insect.
Now and again, yeah.
What about?
Just to say hello and that.
Did she ask about me?
No.
Did you like her?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Did he make her laugh?
Look, he's stupid. She's young enough to be his daughter, so forget about it.
I can't. Did you talk to your dad about her?
Yeah.
And?
I told him he was acting like a pellock. He agreed. Said he couldn't help it.
He said he couldn't help it?
Yeah.
He said that he couldn't help it?
Yep.
Do you think she's good looking?
She scared the shit out of the Romans.
$15,000.
You want a drink?
You want me to want a drink? That way you can have one.
You know, you really should put in for Pope Dan.
What are you going to do with it?
Why do you always look at me as if I've just farted?
You don't deserve her. You don't deserve those kids.
You know something, Danny? Everybody respects you. Everybody respects good old dependable Dan, but nobody loves him.
Nobody ever pitied my wife.
Hello? Okay. Bye. Stick insect's been on. They need your help.
I won't be long.
Don't forget your cape.
A grown-up woman pretending to be a little girl. She told me how often David had been with her. And how often he'd been with all the others. I saw blood. Her face was covered in blood. And I realized that I had picked something up and I was hitting her. I just couldn't stop hitting her.
Why, Maggie? Sexual disgust. You felt betrayed.
Money.
I don't believe that.
Money's life and death. Money's blood. I'd killed her. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't understand it. I went home. And after a while, I could understand it. What have you always told me, Michael? Poverty, disease, the death of a child. Try and see some purpose in it all. And I did see a purpose. And a chisel.
David's sperm.
We did make love that night, but not for the reason you said. He knew it was going to be the last. I went back to her flat. The door was still open. And I hit her with a chisel. I put David's sperm inside her. I put the chisel inside her.
She was still alive when you did that. She died in hospital. Do you know how you got away with it for so long? It wasn't the sperm. It was the chisel. That had to be a man. No woman could do that to another woman. But you had to do it. You forced yourself, didn't you? Because that's what your husband did. Did you think about him when you snuck it in? Didn't think about them, of course. Joyce. Paula. You had to despise them. Think of them as not quite human, yes? Did you think about your own daughters? Of course not. They were somebody's daughters. There would be a mother somewhere, sobbing. What did you think about Maggie? What could drive you? What could madden you so much to do something like that?
Peter.
Who's Peter?
They were all Peter. Joe, Matthew, Teresa, John. I called them all Peter before they were born.
Peter died.
I killed Peter.
Before he was born. An abortion.
But that's not a crime, is it? The murder of an innocent baby isn't a crime. The murder of a filthy prostitute is.
You love David. You love a man, you make love with a man. You have a baby. But babies cost money, and there's never enough money. So you talk about abortion. You go and see Michael for his advice. What does Michael say?
Michael says that we will always be welcome in his church no matter what we do.
I was trying to make it easier for you.
I didn't want it made easier. I wanted you to say no. I'm a good Catholic, I believe. And go along to my priest, a lifetime of sacrifice. And all I ask is that he protect the child growing in my womb. But he won't.
I did the best I could.
For David? David cried after we got rid of the baby. And it helped, because it made me realize that it was hard for him too. He was sharing the pain.
And then you found out that there wasn't enough money after all.
He wasn't sharing the pain. He wasn't crying for our baby, it was guilt. There was enough money after all. But he was spending it all on those bloody women. You ask me how I could put a chisel in another woman. It was easy. When I thought of my baby, it's whatever mess I made of them, it was nothing compared to what they did to my baby.
Are you ready to tell all this to the police, Maggie?
Yes. I killed a woman called Joyce. I killed a woman called Paula. I killed Jean McIlvanney.
I know that's a lie.
I killed Jean McIlvanney. I killed a woman called...
Your husband killed Jean McIlvanney. You killed Joyce. You killed Paula.
I killed them all.
You're worried about the kids.
I followed him. I saw him pick up Jean McIlvanney. I saw them try to get money from the cash point. Everything happened exactly as you said. Except I killed Jean McIlvanney.
It's a bit daft, both of you going down. You don't stand a chance you were caught red-handed. confess to all three. He'll get out, look after the children, is that it?
I'm telling the truth.
2 victims, 3 victims, doesn't make much difference. It does, Mackie. It will. 10, 15 years' time. Trust me, a parole board likes a good motive. Here's a woman, she killed twice, so her husband could get out of prison. I can understand that. But 3 times, out of spite, out of hatred, they'll let you rot.
I killed Jean McIlvanney.
You believe in heaven, Maggie?
Yes.
And hell?
Yes. And I'd burn in hell for eternity to protect my children. I killed Jean McIlvanney. I killed a woman called Joyce. I killed a woman called Paula. My husband is innocent. Please let him go home and look after my children.
We know he did it. Can you prove it? Yes. If you give us a bit more time, can you prove it right now? What have you got right now? I've got identification.
Yeah, the identification's useless. No one's denying he had sex with a woman. The question is, did he kill her?
Yes, he did.
Sorry, we need a little more than your opinion.
Look, he
We're
was the
gonna let
last
him
man
go.
to see her alive.
No one's denying that either. But he wasn't the last person to see her alive. The last person to see her alive was his own bloody wife.
And she's a bloody liar.
Convince me.
Look, it's not our problem, and you know what I mean. We pass all this over to the CPS. We let them deal with it.
We haven't got a case. No forensic, nothing. Nothing to link him with a crime.
They're gonna let the bastard go.
Cool it, cool it.
What?
Soon's not good enough.
I said cool it.
You can work on the
Who do you think you are, eh? Who are you trying to impress? I'm just asking you to cool it. Are you trying to impress Lady Jane here? I'm just asking you to cool it a bit, that's all. You're a DC, right? You're not a DI anymore. You're a DC, and I'm a DS, so don't even try. Don't even try to score points off me, right? Right.
Yes, what will? We'll think of something. You let that man go. You let that
What?
man go right now.
We're letting David Harvey go.
He's not the first man to get off scot-free, Jimmy.
Do you want him punished?
Bloody hypocrite!
Do you want him punished? He's guilty, so you must want him punished.
let her go.
Just piss off, Jimmy!
Just want to hear whether or not you want him punished.
Hey, calm down.
Right, are you going to stay out of this and all,
Hey,
right?
what is wrong with you?
He's guilty, right? And I'll do it. I'll do it. I just want to hear you say yes or bloody no.
Aye.
Look, I just wanted to answer the question.
Why, who do you think you are? Jeremy bloody Paxman?
When I was a kid, it was all in Latin. I used to think the priest was saying, "I bet I can beat you at dominoes." When the plate came round, I thought they were collecting the bets.
Why are you still pursuing him?
I'm pursuing the truth.
People who spout about the truth, they're usually the biggest liars in the world.
Doesn't bother you that he's got away with murder?
He'll remember that night for as long as he lives. He's lost his wife because of it. His kids have lost their mother because of it. How's he got away with it? You'll see yourselves out.
I'm going to make my mother a millionaire.
You're going to the casino.
Bang on.
You promised you wouldn't gamble again.
This doesn't count.
Cheap sentimentality.
Explain later.
Cheap sentimentality!
Bobby, you're under arrest. What for? Get in the car. Get in the car! Jesus. Get in!
I'll tell you why I joined the police force, Mr. Harvey. When I was a kid, I
was a copper who used to walk up and down our street. That was when coppers could walk up and down our street. He was a big man. If you kept your nose clean, you'd be all right. If you stepped out of line, you got a clip around the ear. Everyone respected him. I wanted to be like that man. But I can't be like that man. They've all gone. Those days are all gone. Nowadays, you give someone a clip around the ear, you end up in court. I know men who've been killed.
Let me out of this car.
I know men who've been killed. Good men. Better men than me. Better coppers than me. The killers are still living. Well, they're banged up, yeah, but they're still living. They're treated like bloody heroes because they killed a copper. Well, I believe in atonement, Mr. Harvey. If you're guilty, you should atone. And we're both guilty, Mr. Harvey. I'm with the suspect, David Harvey. I'm taking him to the roof of the Ramada Hotel. We're going to jump off together. Over.
Jimmy, what the hell are you playing at? Jimmy, what the bloody hell are you playing at? Over.
You're not fit to lick Bilborough's boots. Never mind, fill them, you scruffy scouse bastard.
I want an ARV at the hotel. If he looks like jumping, shoot the bastard.
He's planning to jump and take David Harvey with him. Over.
Victor Oscar under control. We're just round the corner. I'm on my way. Over.
Get out of the car, Mr. Harvey!
No.
Get out of the car! No. Get out before I blow your bloody brains off!
No.
Get out!
I've got 4 children!
Get out! Get out!
I've got 4 children, mate! Get out! You mean nothing?
Get out, police! Get out! Go!
Will you help me, please? Help me! God's sake, do so! You're gonna kill me! He's gonna kill me! He's gonna kill me!
I'm going to take you right to the top, Mr. Harvey. And if you don't confess, I'm going to push you off. Does that make you feel like confessing, Mr. Harvey? Did you kill Jean McIlvenney? The trouble is, it's confession under duress. Inadmissible. The judge will throw it out. That's the way it is these days. Everything is designed to get you off. There's a wonderful... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Irony. There's a wonderful irony, isn't there, Mr. Harvey? Because everything is designed to get you off. You're the one who's going to have to die. You appreciate that irony, Mr. Harvey. Evidence. This is a dying man's statement.
Find the passenger list this.
The suspect, Mr. Harvey, has just confessed to the murder of Jean McIlvenney. Isn't that right, Mr. Harvey? Mr. Harvey has just nodded his head. Well, fly with me! Let's fly away! You want me to jump?
No.
This is evidence. This is a dying man's statement. I raped you. I'm so sorry.